Do you know what's expected of you at work? This is the first question on a survey that the Gallup organization does when measuring employee engagement. Now, since 2007, the stats are 50%. For the past 16 years, only half of the workers know what's expected of them at work. That means that half don't for 16 years. This isn't a worker problem, this is a boss problem. My name's Lissa Daub. My company's a Strong Impact Academy, and we help people build better businesses by being better bosses. All right, so according to these stats, half of your employees are unsure of what they're supposed to be doing on any given day. Now, if they don't know what the expectations are, how are they supposed to meet them? And if they're not meeting expectations, you're probably frustrated. Now, think back to the last time you were annoyed with someone, whether that was at work or at home or anywhere in between, doesn't matter. Just the last time you were annoyed with someone. I can say with 99% certainty, it's because one of your expectations wasn't met, spoken or unspoken, okay? So it's your responsibility as a boss to make sure that your people understand what's expected of them. Now, you might be thinking, it's ridiculous, Lissa. Of course my people know what's expected of them. But do they? Do they really? Or is there just a whole lot of assuming going on? People assume that they know what's expected of them. Managers assume that their people know what the expectations are. But when they don't match up, that's when there's problems. That's when you're a bad boss. That's when you have employees that don't get it. All right, you're frustrated, you get angry, you figure you hired the wrong person. But before you decide that you don't have the right person in that seat, have a look at yourself. All right? Make sure that you have done everything you can do to be clear about your expectations. Okay, step 1. Do you know what's expected of them? Beyond, they just need to do their job. All right? Sometimes that's the issue. If you can't clearly state what you expect of somebody that works for you, then you obviously haven't clearly stated those expectations to them, right? So, for example, if you're hiring an admin assistant, what does that mean? What will they be doing? What are they responsible for? How are they going to be measured? These are all things you need to be clear on so that you can be clear with them. Right, so here's something you can do. Write down all of the tasks that need to be done by somebody in that role. And if it's a new role, especially, okay? If you're hiring somebody to take things off of your plate, if you've created a new role to free up some of your time, then you really better be clear about the things that are coming off your plate. So what I want you to do is write down all of the things that you do on any given day, and then go back over that list and highlight the things that you don't like doing, the things that you don't need to necessarily be doing, the things that drive you crazy, the things that you never get to. Those are the things you hire somebody else to do, okay? Now you've got your list of expectations. Now you know what this person is supposed to be doing. So step 2 is telling them, right? Clearly telling them. Identify the tasks, the outcomes, the expectations, express them clearly. And I can't say this enough. Right? We have to remove those assumptions. So let's say that you've hired Jamie. Jamie shows up for work every day between 8:30 and 9, starts working on various tasks. After a couple of weeks, you're super frustrated because Jamie's late every day. Your office opens at 8 a.m. Now, you may have told Jamie that the office opens at 8 a.m. But did you tell Jamie that the expectation is for them to start at 8 a.m.? I know that it seems like super obvious, but sometimes really that's how clear you need to be. You have to be super obvious to remove those assumptions, okay? So in the words of Brene Brown, clear is kind. Stating expectations, reiterating them is clear, okay? It's not micromanaging. If you remove instances where employees have to assume, you're giving them the opportunity to work with more confidence and provide better results. When expectations aren't clear, anxiety and even fear can hinder an employee's confidence levels. Confident employees do better work, all right? They're more effective in their job, and that's what we want. That's what we all want, right? We want to have highly engaged, effective employees doing the work we need them to do. Now, if you have a team currently and you walk up to every person that reports to you and you say, hey, do you know what's expected of you at work? Every single one of them is going to respond with yes. They don't want to tell you they don't know what's expected of them. All right? They assume they know, and especially if they've been there for a while, if they haven't been yelled at for not doing the right thing, then they just assume they're doing the right thing. So how about get really clear with them and invite them out for a coffee? Have a good conversation around this. Right? You can start asking them different questions. What parts of your job do you look forward to the most? Right? That starts to identify some of their strengths and where they're going to be the most effective. Number 2, what do you think I expect of you? What do you think your job is? All right? This just makes sure that everybody's on the same page. Number 3, what does excellence look like in your job? Right? Shoot for the moon. We want to have high expectations. We want people to meet those expectations, okay? Number 4, how do we measure this? Right? People want to know how they're doing, and they don't always want to wait for you to say, hey, good job. They want to know how they're doing. So if there's a way that it can be measured on, good, bad, indifferent, whatever it is, if there's a way that you can measure that, then it's clear for everybody. Then it's objective on that they are doing what they're supposed to be doing, that they are meeting those expectations. Now you can take this a step further, and depending on your relationship with this employee or their level in the organization, doesn't matter, but ask them what their expectations are of you. How often do they want you to check in with them? How do they like to receive feedback? How do they like to receive instructions? Do they need just the big picture, or do they need step-by-step instructions? Getting to know your people can remove a lot of those assumptions and help them do their best work. If every leader was a little clearer on their expectations, perhaps that 50% stat from the Gallup organization will start to climb over the next 16 years. It starts with you.